Hello, everyone. How's the volume? Louder? Quieter? I don't know. I'm pretty much a karaoke expert, so I feel like it's right. It's good right now. So if it needs to be louder, just raise your hand in the back, and I promise no karaoke today. But lots of great conversation. We have all been there. The kids are being crazy. You get home late. You want to be on the couch. You need food. You don't want it to be that questionable Chinese place down the street. So we pull up an app and we make it happen. And the delivery landscape, I mean, has changed dramatically over the last 10 years. That's why everyone's here. We're all excited to figure out how you guys have navigated that, both as delivery services and also as restaurants. So we want to kick it off. And both John and Trent, I want you to tell us about your experience with delivery and how you've integrated it into your operations, just kind of briefly, so that we have a sense of how you're using it in the restaurants right now.
So at Palazzo's, we've done our own in-house delivery with our own drivers for 20 years. So we weren't a real early adopter of third-party delivery because we didn't know how it would fit in with our own delivery. Would it complement it? Would it cannibalize it? But we have signed up with several third-party delivery companies, and it has increased our sales. It has increased our delivery sales. We still do our own in-house delivery, but we partner with companies like DoorDash and some others, and it's increased our sales, and we've had a good experience for the most part.
Yeah, so we've got a little bit different story than John. We had never delivered an ounce of food until the Uber representative walked into our restaurant back in 2014. At one point, we were up to about 11 iPads in our restaurant. We embraced anyone who was willing to take our food to another restaurant. We've actually had dedicated staff for running our delivery, and we don't just dump it on the bartender at night. So we've grown it to almost 30% of our business at our downtown locations. We've seen that it's a little less dense out in the suburbs, but it's something we know that is going to be the future as a user. I don't like driving to get things myself, so we're trying to do the best we can to help integrate them to our fullest abilities.
All right. Oh, yeah. I'm trying to solve this robot problem, guys. Is this working? Can you hear me back there? Good. Oh, I do want to sit there. I want to sit right here. Is it okay? All right. Good. All right, so how often do we talk, I was trying to figure this out, but how often do you use one of these services for your business?
Like personally?
Well, maybe both, yeah, tell us.
I mean, so we do a lot of favor at our restaurant. I don't like our managers leaving the restaurant ever. Mm-hmm. So if we run out of something, need paper, need pens, whatever, we always make them use favor drivers. I'm kind of the same way. I don't like having to go run stupid errands because I forgot something. So that's really what I use a lot of.
And how much of your business is delivery?
It's about 30%.
About 30%. And you, John, you?
Between our in-house and the third party, it's about 30% also, but about 20% of that is in-house and 10% is third-party delivery.
What'd you say?
Why does he use both?
I'd love to know for the delivery folks in the room. Tell me about working with restaurants and how it benefits the delivery services.
I mean, I think we're an opportunity to introduce the customer and bring the restaurant to them, rather than making sure that they have to come to the restaurant in the first place. We obviously have built a business. Grubhub started out as a way to take away paper takeout menus, an easy way to find every restaurant that you wanted. So I think it's an opportunity to expand the business without necessarily expanding the footprint in-house.
Great. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. So DoorDash was started 5 years ago by Tony Shu, who grew up in the Midwest, helping his mom grow her small local restaurant. She eventually left the restaurant industry with the savings she had to start a medical clinic, which was her lifelong dream. Tony used that inspiration when we started this company 5 years ago. He had the merchant first focus. He's always been about helping restaurants grow, helping small businesses grow. So we were founded with that ethos of helping small businesses meet their goals. Maybe it's open a second location, go from 10 to 20. We have a merchant first approach, and I'm passionate about the business and helping you guys because we're focused on improving your restaurant. So we're a strategic partnership. That's where the opportunity is for us. coming in as strategic partners to help you grow your business. Some people are a volume play, they just want to increase their volume. We can help with that, with marketing, a variety of methods. But a lot of partners really need that strategic partnership. They want quality to stay high, they need POS integration, they want someone coming to the store to help them figure out operations. We do all of that, and that's the opportunity that DoorDash kind of fills, is helping restaurants improve their operations and make food delivery work for them.
Now, John, you mentioned that you also do in-house delivery. Tell me about how you've kind of chosen to do both, and what the decision-making process was like.
Well, like I said, we've been doing delivery for over 20 years, and delivery is great when it's raining. There's, there's flooding. Well, you can't really drive in flooding, but raining, it's hot outside. When the weather is bad, people want to stay inside. So we have always looked at delivery as a way to grow our revenue at our restaurants and office catering. And on those slow nights, it really helps you make your numbers. And so just the market is going to these third-party apps. That's where people are going now to place their orders. And it just makes sense to partner with them.
So you fish where there are fish, basically, right? You know the fish are there, you go fish in that hole. I see.
Exactly.
So tell me about, and anybody can answer this, what is food training like, food delivery, or rather food handling training like, both on the delivery side and on the restaurant side? For delivery drivers, excuse me, to be clear.
Okay. Well, just speaking in terms of our staff in the restaurant, signing up with these companies is very easy. The contracts are simple. You can always get out of them. If for whatever reason you don't want to do business with that company any longer, they send you a tablet. Most of them send you a tablet. You log in, and they send you orders, and you fill the orders. That's very easy. What is a little more tricky is as your volume builds with those companies over time, is making sure you have dedicated staff that are taking those orders, packaging them, making sure everything is there. And, the last thing you want is a customer saying, they got something wrong.
Food safety is obviously of the utmost importance to us, so we contractually obligate all of our drivers to have their hot and cold bags. They have to take them from the restaurant to the customer. We also optimize our technology to look at what's the most efficient and shortest travel time that we can have from the restaurant to the diner, and making sure that we look at it as a time-based travel and not necessarily just covering a specific area.
Yeah, so every member on our teams and our restaurants is all certified to be food handlers through the city and the state, and that's where we maintain that at a restaurant level.
Trent brings up the one point that I wanted to touch on, that the employees at the restaurant are the ones certified to handle food. Our dashers are never going to be instructed to touch the food. The most they'll do is read through the receipt, make sure it matches what's showing up on the Dasher app, maybe glance in the bag or say, hey, there's $80 of food, but it's one bag. Maybe you guys are missing one. They're never going to look through the food that's on the restaurant. So, you're responsible for handling the quality, but that's good because that's your job. We take care of the things that Caitlin was mentioning, optimizing for time, getting deliveries under 40 minutes, having dashers there on time, all of that.
I see. And what is the staff reaction when you initially brought on delivery from a third party, and or as you bring on new delivery partners?
So I think initially there was obviously a lot of resistance because it's a lot of extra work, and they're not getting the tips on that. So we had to very quickly structure it to where it was a job just like a dishwasher or a line cook, that this is your job, you get paid a rate, and this is the volume you do. We try to do a really good job of marketing to those customers to return and be dine-in guests for us with bounce backs in the bags and saying, hey, love that you're a delivery customer, but when you do decide to finally leave your cave, we're here, come enjoy your experience with us. And we've seen not just our delivery sales grow since we've launched with all the platforms, but our dine-in sales have continued to up with a similar level of growth.
So somebody gets it at home and they're like, this is delightful, I'm going to go have an experience at the restaurant.
Yes.
All right. And you found that your staff has adjusted to all the folks coming into the restaurant that aren't necessarily part of their team pretty well?
Yeah, I think outside of a couple hours on Sunday where they hate me regardless of what we're doing with to-go bags, they've pretty well adjusted to it's a fact of life now.
Sure, John. How do you feel about it?
Well, we had some concern going into it because, as I stated previously, we have our own delivery drivers.
Of
So
course.
my concern was they were going to think that we were taking some money out of their pocket by doing delivery through third party. I'm happy to say that that's not the case. The third party delivery has just complemented our own in-house delivery, and our own in-house delivery is doing great too. These orders from third parties come in at our expo area. So whoever's working expo is just the person filling the order. It hasn't been disruptive at all or really in any way.
And for both Caitlin and JB, so assuming we've got a couple people in this audience that might be considering partnering with a third-party delivery service, what's the best way that you found that folks equip staff to understand and liaise with your delivery drivers? Is there some way to optimize that process?
I think first and foremost, it's looking at the operation as a whole. So making sure you're optimizing where that tablet is sitting. Ideally, we're all moving towards integration. Personally at Grubhub, we are heavily invested in that, and actually our system directly integrating, so you don't see any difference between a tablet. It just pops up in your PRS. We're working with Oracle Hospitality and NCR Aloha. So if you optimize it in the first place, and the kitchen can treat it like a regular order, and front of house can generally treat it like a regular takeout order, that's going to reduce the most pain points. And then from there, just letting them know that, this driver's coming in and they want to get in and out of the restaurant as quickly as possible. Time is money to them. So if you help them on their way and get them out the door, then it's just a benefit to you, and you can go back to serving the in-house customer.
I see.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a big concern for restaurant employees is just the difficulty or complex nature of this. I was in a pizza shop the other day. It's like this small place, one table. I walked in, there's literally a DoorDash driver waiting, 5 tablets on the counter. This place has one table. It's very small. And then there's like another driver, it might have been Grubhub, coming in. And the people in the kitchen are literally bickering about which tablet to find the order on and all of that. Like, nobody wants that. And we're moving away from a ton of tablets to a place where the companies that succeed in the food delivery space are going to be true logistics partners. So we're working on that. We're implementing with your systems, and we're having our strategic partner managers come out to your location to figure out the best place for Dashers to pick up, where your tablet should be best situated if you're not on POS. We have dedicated partner managers, and their job is literally to make the best experience for the restaurants.
Trent and John, anything that you've done that's been a eureka moment, like an upgrade where you're like, why didn't we do this at the beginning? Or maybe you're like, I don't know how to do this. It's really hard. There's lots of tablets.
Yeah, I don't know that necessarily there's been any pure eureka. We started using Chowly probably about 4 or 5 months ago, that consolidated our tablets at our San Felipe location. But that's still just, I'm only shooting myself in the toe instead of the foot, because it's still not full POS integration. I think that our biggest revelation was treating the delivery drivers like their guests in our restaurants, because they're going to be delivering the brand experience whenever they do drop off that food. Whether it's, there's a lot of times on Sunday that, quite frankly, I don't know how long the food's going to take to get to you. And we are going to expedite getting dine-in guests their foods first. So when we know that we're wasting that driver's time because we misquoted them on that delivery time, offering them a soda, just being hospitable to them goes a long way. And I think the other part of it is really being religious that perfection is the only acceptable answer when it comes to order accuracy. We incentivize our to-go people on accuracy on a weekly basis. We reward the team and the store as a whole if they extend that. We literally take every item out of the bag and show it to the driver, make them verify it with their phone versus our receipt to make sure we didn't miss something, because me being someone who's been shorted food a lot in my life, it ruins my meal. And that's really the two things that we care the most about there, is drivers carrying a smile with that delivery and then delivering what the customer asked for.
Sure. John, anything to add? A lot to add?
Yeah. Trent mentioned Ali. Also, some of these people over here with OrderMark, they have a system that consolidates all the the tablets from the different companies into one tablet and a printer, so you don't have to have 6 or 8 different tablets. Ordermark has a booth over here if you want to go talk to them. I talked to them yesterday. They're great people. I think the holy grail with this, and Trent knows more about this than I do, is when these third-party companies will integrate with the POS, where you don't have to enter in the order as it comes in through the tablet, and it automatically goes through the kitchen through your POS. I think that will be make everything a whole lot easier and faster. In terms of other things that Trent said, timeliness is important. You look on these apps, and if you're using them, it'll generally tell you, like, if you order from this restaurant, it's going to take 35 minutes or 45 minutes or something. So we're trying to get those orders out, correct, but in a timely manner, so that when they look at our restaurants on the app, we can get to them in about 35 minutes or something, and hopefully that gives us repeat business.
And when there are issues with an order, do you find, and maybe this is a question for Caitlin and JB, who handles those? I would imagine that a lot of that falls on your plate. I can't imagine they're calling the restaurant if they've ordered through Grubhub or DoorDash. But tell me what that support looks like.
So we're obviously a tech company at heart, so we look to optimize and obviously solve solutions wherever we can, but at the scale we operate, we still want that human touch. So we have a 24/7 care organization, and it's divided out to actually support our restaurants, diners, and drivers individually. And then on top of that, similar to what JB mentioned, we have local managers, and that's actually the team that I oversee, who know the market, but they're also knowing the community and going out and building the relationships with the restaurateurs. So when they have concerns or just overall issues that they kind of want to address with the service or ways to optimize their business, then we're available for that.
Cool.
So with DoorDash and food delivery in general, I think the big perk of that is Trent is able to focus, and John, on what they do best, preparing great food. We take all of the other aspects and we handle that. So you order through our app and we handle all aspects of the support process. So if a customer has an issue with an order, a dasher, anything, it doesn't show up, that routes through DoorDash and we handle all of that, so you don't have to worry about that. And if you're a partner with us, we're handling all of the payment. You're getting paid every week. And if any issues arise, someone doesn't pick up the order, there's food costs, we're going to reimburse you for that as well. We're here to provide a world-class experience for our merchants. So we try to handle everything on that end, and you guys just get to focus on making great food.
Trent and John, as you've seen, presumably seen a boom in delivery, what does that look like from a cost perspective? I would imagine packaging is probably something that everyone thinks about, or rather doesn't think about until suddenly you've got a ton of packaging you got to bring in. So what has that done to your costs, and where do you see that going from a packaging perspective?
Yeah, so I think with our packaging, we started out with big, beautiful bags that were well branded and looked great with customers carrying them out of the restaurant. But what we've really started to switch to at all of our locations over the past couple months is really trying to downplay all of the branding that we're doing. We still have our branded to-go boxes and stuff that are in there, so they know where they're getting it from. But spending that 50 cents on that giant handled paper bag just doesn't make sense when the driver's putting it directly into a bag and no one's going to see it walking out. So we've really looked at optimizing that. We've changed some of our menu offerings. We do a farmer's plate where you can get a meat and 2 sides, and there were just some of the sides that if you made these combinations, like I was giving you $3 in paper goods for a $12 meal. So we've really tried to be smart about how we optimize in doing that. We've probably seen about a 50% increase in our paper costs, but I mean, we were a restaurant that you only used napkins during the day, so we had very limited paper costs to begin with. So it's all within reason from where we stand for the increase in sales.
Mm-hmm.
Our packaging costs range, depending on the restaurant, between 2.5 to mid 3% of our total cost of goods sold. You want some packaging that will keep the food secure, keep the sauces inside. Last thing you want is a customer getting a delivery and their marinara sauce is spilled all over the bag. You see, a big movement now to, eco-friendly type packaging, recyclable type packaging, those type of things. But in terms of branding, we use a lot of, custom bags and whatnot with our names on them. We do a lot of office catering, and so somebody might be ordering food for an office for 20 or 30 people or more, and you want those other 20 or 30 people to know where that food came from, so hopefully they'll order from you too. So we try to make sure we have our names on all our packaging.
I see. And Caitlin and JB, what do you, from a packaging perspective, what do you guys see is most effective from your partners? Or do you offer packaging services in addition to delivery drivers? And we also have these great paper goods.
I think it's a novel idea. No, I think quality of packaging is a huge thing. Unfortunately, especially with some smaller restaurants, we've seen things where somebody's maybe packaging soup in a styrofoam with foil on top, and it's like, oh no, please, please don't. But no, nice clamshells, things with clear tops. So again, when you're going through the order, confirming it with a driver, it's just easy and clear to see because again, they're not touching the food, but just so there's acceptance there of, hey, this is what's here. And that customer experience, things that travel and thinking about the temperature of the different products and how they're going to travel together in car, not only for your delivery experience, but just customers and takeout in general.
Well, from a consumer standpoint, because I order food delivery probably double-digit number of times a week, exclusively from DoorDash, I judge a restaurant immediately on food preparation. So you think in store, yes, like you want your food to be beautiful. You might not think for carry-out or delivery orders that it's important, but the preparation or the containers they come in, making sense, the food not spilling, that matters. And that is a big factor for me, and I think a lot of people in having a good delivery experience. So as we are building a world-class merchant services organization, we're always looking at things like partnerships with providers, that make that packaging and all of that. We also will work directly with our with partners to take care of their needs. So we worked with Shake Shack in New York City when they came on as a partner to make sure their food was packaged correctly, because most deliveries in New York are baked. So you can imagine biking around with like fries and a burger and all of that. They were concerned about quality, so we worked directly with them, and that's the kind of care we offer for partnerships. So yeah.
Cool. I'd love to know from a marketing perspective. I mean, certainly, as we all are using our phones and mobile apps, and we have such accessibility to get delivery, do you feel like having delivery from a third party in your restaurant has helped with marketing at all? Or what are you saying from your partners from a marketing perspective? And then Caitlin and JB afterward, tell us a little bit about what you guys do with your partners.
Yeah, no, we've done several creative things with some of our partners where we've done free delivery for orders over $50. There's some that they do right now. We're doing a $1 delivery for the whole month with all our locations. We do free delivery for anyone who has never ordered from us before. And what's really cool is they report back to us on the ROI on those marketing opportunities, so we really know whether it was working or whether it's not. And we've done several other things that weren't as successful, but we see it as just, it's a customer that's surprisingly probably never going to come to our restaurant. About 50% of those people that are there are incremental business that we're just never going to see come in. Mm-hmm. And again, the marketing we're sticking in the bags is for that other 50% that might actually come and dine with us.
I leave the marketing up to Grubhub and DoorDash. They have hundreds of millions of dollars to spend on marketing, and I think that's why you sign up with them.
Yeah, you see a lot of that benefit from just the presence.
Definitely.
And the capacity. It really, interesting. And Caitlin and JB, what about you guys? What are you saying that is really working for your partners from a marketing perspective? Or tell me about something an initiative maybe you're embarking on.
I think we've done a few interesting things. We're really focused on the diversity of our partnerships and really, again, having that relationship with our restaurants. We're 100% food focused, and all of our restaurants are our partners. We're in agreements with them. They're providing the photography, the menus to us, so they know exactly everything that's appearing on our site. And we've done a few initiatives like Restaurant Her this past March, where we promoted women-owned and run restaurants and allowed our customers to go in and kind of pledge that they were going to spend with that. And then we're also looking at some grants to reinvest into some of our partners' smaller restaurant businesses. But then also getting brand awareness with things like our Yum partnership nationally to kind of expose ourselves into new markets, and then bring a customer to the site who then turns around and finds that local favorite. So they really get that recognition and that trickle-down effect.
I was joking with Trent before the panel that he could probably just do my job for me and I don't need to be here because everything he was mentioning was stuff DoorDash has going on right now. Dish Society is like one of our best partners in Houston and they're a great partner. So are John's Restaurant. So a lot of stuff Trent was mentioning are what we're working on. The key benefits of being a partner from a marketing perspective are you're going to have lower delivery fees on the site, which directly translates to more orders. So coming on as a partner, your volume is going to immediately increase within the first month or two. You're also going to have better placement on the app and access to our marketing initiatives that we have going on, like the promo Trent was mentioning with our dollar deliveries for the entire month of July. That's a company-wide promotion. We also do regional specific things. We had a Super Bowl promotion. Last month, we had a summer deal promotion where partners opted in for that, and delivery fees were waived on orders like over $15. For participating merchants, we saw volume double from the prior 2 weeks. We're always working on new marketing initiatives for our partners. And I think it's a big benefit of food delivery is opening up your restaurant to customers who may not have known you were around. The vast majority of orders you receive from food delivery are going to be customers who went onto the app, stumbled across your restaurant and said, this looks really good, I'm going to order from there. Those customers may then go on to love the experience, order again from DoorDash, go in store. So we're bringing you new customer bases that are going to greatly expand your business.
So if somebody in the audience is considering adding their first third-party delivery or their third-party delivery, Trent and John, what's your kind of pro tip? Like, this was surprising to us, and we had to course correct for this, or this was the super awesome thing that it came out of becoming a partner. I'd just love to know if there's something you feel like you want to relay to these folks in case they have questions about how to do that.
I can tell you, we definitely got up to 11 or 12 iPads when we first started with this, and there's a lot of those companies that don't exist anymore. And the core reason that I feel like some of them have gone under and not garnered the partnerships that they're looking for is that they're not looking at the restaurants as a partner. And the companies that look at the restaurants as a partner as their primary commodity. At the end of the day, if delivery went away tomorrow, me and John would still be in business. But if all the restaurants closed tomorrow, all these delivery companies don't exist. And knowing that we're the primary heart of this business and providing great meals to great customers and feeling treated that way and knowing that, look, there's going to be times that we don't agree on things and we need to find middle ground and not just say, well, we're bringing you, 200, exposure to 200,000 people a day. Like, you're going to, no, I'm not. I'm just going to leave. So we've done that several times and put our foot down and say, it's just, if you're not going to work with us, we're not going to work with you either.
Well, if someone's in the audience thinking about signing up for third-party delivery, I would just say go for it because, like I mentioned earlier, they send you a tablet, you log in, they send you orders. It is easy. It's an easy process. And all these contracts that I've seen, you can get out of them at any time if you're not happy with that company. Over time, as you deal with these companies, you will figure out which ones are responsive and which ones are not, which ones are true partners and which ones are not, and then you can base your decisions off of which ones to continue to do business with. But, certain delivery companies, delivery apps have higher volume in different markets. You'll also discover that. But they will bring you revenue and they will bring you orders, and I would highly suggest that if anybody's in the audience thinking about signing up, just sign up and try it.
Caitlin and JB, how does one sign up? Is it just like, do we just go online, fill out a little Google form and say, hey, we want you guys to come in? What's the best way to do that?
We do. We have get.grubhub.com that you can go on and express your interest. You're also welcome to come up and talk to myself or Todd, our other manager, afterwards, and we'd be happy to connect you with someone. But we try to make the process pretty seamless and straightforward. So yeah, just jump online and enter that information, and someone reaches out to you within 24 hours.
So we have a booth right there. You can probably see the DoorDash marketing. So if you're done with this and you want to sign up, just walk right over there. Our partnership team will help you out. We have awesome koozies and free water. So like, there's no reason not to stop by. But it's a very simple process, as Caitlin was saying. It's a one-page agreement. We'll send you. You can sign it via DocuSign, and we can get you up and running within 5 to 7 days. And yeah, as John has been saying, there's really no downside. You can cancel at any time. So if it's not working out, just let us know, and we'll take you down. So there's really no risk.
Are there specific requirements that you, other than you serve food and like have open hours and are cool partners, like are there certain requirements that you need to become a delivery partner? I mean, from a restaurant perspective, do they have to have like a certain number of tables or a certain kind of capacity? No. Anybody?
Not really. I mean, I can't think of any broad things. I guess alcohol in Texas, we can't deliver that.
Right,
but,
right. Right, but just in general, as long as you've got a restaurant that can handle the capacity.
Yeah, absolutely. We recommend everyone, and we actually have some partners that have chosen to open locations that don't have dine-in space because they actually do so well with delivery. So they've chosen to optimize the kitchen and really focus it that way. So as long as you have a bank account for us to deposit your funds into and a menu that's ready to go that can be uploaded as a PDF, and the address for pickup, then we're good.
Very cool. Trent and John, any delivery-only spots on the horizon? Maybe you already have one, and I just have no idea.
Not for me. I'd see it as incremental sales on our dine-in restaurants. I think Trent has looked into this possibly.
Oh, the question is, are you going to open a delivery-only spot in the future? What do you think about that?
Yeah, so
becoming
I
part of
think
your market?
the first phase for us is going to be we've got a stable of brands that we want to launch in the next 5 to 10 years. And because we overbuild all of our kitchens because we want to be ready for the capacity when it's there, we're looking at opening restaurants that don't exist, putting out menus of 5 to 10 items that work inside of our current spaces, and offering those restaurants and testing our ideas before we invest $1 million in opening a brick and mortar restaurant. The other thing that we're going to be doing is getting food trucks and trying to find new spots in town that are outside of our current delivery range, just to try to expand our reach on those, potentially start building the brand in new markets before we even open. Like, we're looking at spots in Austin, and if we want to do something for a year before we're able to sign a lease, we can just go plop a truck down there and start delivering food and start introducing our brand to new markets. And I think that that's probably the best way that we've seen to do it ourselves. I know that there's a lot of commissary kitchens that are opening in other markets where you can kind of share space with others, but that's not on our horizon.
Okay. And I think we're at about, 5 more minutes maybe? All right, 5 more minutes. All right, how do I come eat in your restaurants, John and Trent? Where do we find you guys?
So we've got 3 locations open now, one in the Galleria area on San Felipe and Bering. We've got another in Memorial, just off Memorial Drive over by Town and Country. Then out in Katy in La Centera Shopping Center. We're opening in the Heights in a couple months at 14th and Yale at where the old post office was. And then downtown in the Finn Food Hall in Houston in hopefully a couple months, but they've been a little delayed.
That sometimes happens.
My 3 restaurants are in Houston also. The original Palazzo's has been there 22 years near the Galleria, right off of Westheimer. We have another Palazzo's at Briar Forest and Beltway 8 on the west side of town in West Chase. And then Moderno Tacos and Tex-Mex is in the same center with Palazzo, so they're right next door to each other.